Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle shot dead outside his clothing store. The reaction from fans this morning.
It's Distracted Driving Month, and BPD is getting ready to ramp up patrols. The one thing in particular officers will be watching for.
Gearing up to give big. The annual effort to boost local nonprofits is coming up. We'll tell you how businesses are already helping. This is Monday, April 1st, 2019. No fooling, we promise. Good morning, great to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Mary-Kate Paquette and Kevin Charette. Alex Fisher.
Still gone.
He's still gone, but I believe he's making his way back starting
Slowly,
today.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And he officially is back on the air, do we know?
I believe Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yep, I think he's
Don't expect him to be in full Alex form. At least I wouldn't be.
Actually,
I think he's going to be excited to talk about it.
He is,
will.
And he's actually, the time that he's been on it's 8 o'clock in the morning at this
True.
time. So, yeah, he'll be rearing to go.
He just won't have he'll have to readjust to the news mind instead of the vacation and hiking
that's
mind.
always
He's
right.
got a
That's
real
always-
rugged
That
look
is-
going on
I know.
right now.
I didn't even know Alex could grow a half
It is
beard.
not No Shave November.
Yeah.
It's manly.
It's
No,
not?
we're not in March anymore. I was going to say it's Manly March, but I guess we're not in March anymore.
Yeah. Well, we got a few high clouds out there, but that is about it right now. But we will see increasing clouds as we go throughout today. Not looking at any rain, but definitely we'll see some high clouds. 56 in Bakersfield right now. No winds to talk about as we take a look at your day. Mostly sunny to start, and then partly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon. And temperatures are going to be near 80 degrees again. So a nice warm day ahead. 39 in Tehachapi right now with an east-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour. Take a look at the hour by hour. We're going to start out in the 30s. And this afternoon, we're going to be right near 70 with increasing clouds for you as well.
This morning, fans are reacting to the death of rapper Nipsey Hussle, who was gunned down outside his Los Angeles clothing store.
My God, I didn't get Nipsey Hussle. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Someone shot the rapper and two others yesterday afternoon. It happened at a strip mall outside of Nipsey Hussle's clothing store, Marathon. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital where he died. No word on how the other two people are doing this morning. News of the shooting spread like wildfire on social media. Fans gathered at the store, many of them in shock.
He inspired everybody to be different. He inspired to be the businessman and cut the middleman out and be your own boss. And that's what hurts the most.
This is not going to be a good outcome for our community. We have lost a legend. We have lost someone who has inspired others, who have came from the ground all the way to the top. And we need you.
The 33-year-old debut album Victory Lap was nominated for Best Rap Album at this year's Grammy Awards. Police say they haven't made any arrests in connection with the shooting. Nipsey Hussle was a known gang member, and the Washington Post is reporting he was supposed to meet with LA police officials later today to talk about ending gang violence.
Today is the start of Distracted Driving Awareness Month. Bakersfield Police and law enforcement statewide will be stepping up enforcement. Officers will specifically be looking for drivers on their phones. First-time offenders face a $162 fine. Under the most recent law that went into effect in 2017, drivers can't have a phone in their hand for any reason. The law requires phones be mounted on a dashboard, windshield, or center console and can only be touched once with the swipe or tap of a finger to activate or deactivate a function. Last year, BPD says it issued nearly 1,000 citations to drivers who were using their phones behind the wheel.
It's the first NBC poll since the Attorney General released the Mueller report summary, and it shows most Americans either aren't sure or don't think the report clears President Trump. Just 29% of those polled say they believe Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation cleared the president, while 40% say it didn't. Coming up at 5:30, we'll talk more about this poll and how Congress is shifting its focus to other issues while waiting for the release of their full Mueller report. We want to know what you think. Did Robert Mueller clear President Trump? Head to our Twitter page to vote yes, no, or not sure.
It's 5:05 now. The Citizens Oversight Committee, better known as the Measure N Committee, is meeting once again tonight. The committee is responsible for overseeing how the city of Bakersfield spends new revenue generated from Measure N. That's the 1-cent sales tax increase that voters narrowly passed in November. Tonight's meeting is happening at 5:15 in the council chambers at City Hall on Truxtun Avenue. The committee will finish hearing proposals from various city departments on projects around town that need funding. Committee members may also vote on the proposed spending plan for the measure for the city council. The committee meetings are open to the public.
Firefighters are investigating 2 fires at abandoned houses just a few blocks from each other. The first happened on Drury Lane near Berger Street in East Bakersfield. Neighbors say it broke out just after 8 last night. They say the house is abandoned and saw a man run out after the fire started. Shortly after, another fire started on Gage Street. Kern County Fire says there were initial reports someone was inside the house, but when firefighters got there, they didn't find anyone. KCFD does believe people were squatting at this house, but they do not believe these 2 fires are related. No one was hurt in either fire.
The Bakersfield Sikh community came together to celebrate the birth of their religion. The festivities included a parade in the southwest part of town. Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world. It was founded more than 230 years ago. The religion's principles are based largely on justice, equality, and respect for everyone.
The original purpose was to start this, to take the Gurbani, which is like the teachings of our gurus, taking them to people. So taking them outside the temple and reaching out more people so they can know how peaceful and loving our religion is.
Organizers say close to 10,000 people made it out to the parade, and food vendors served up free food to the community.
Well, things got a little hot at the final Chili Verde cook-off for Amnesty's on the Hill. The winner not only gets bragging rights, but a cash prize comprised of all the proceeds from the event. Minto Brewer performed, and DJ Mickey was also spinning tunes at the cook-off.
It started out as a way to bring the small local businesses together. So the first year we did it, it was a bunch of small mom-and-pop businesses just like ours.
Earlier this month, we confirmed that Amnesty's is closing at the end of the summer, but the owner wouldn't tell us why.
Give Big Kern Day isn't until next month, but starting today, a number of shops around town are launching promotions to help local nonprofits. Give Big Kern's an online day of giving put on by the Kern Community Foundation. The goal is not only to raise money for nonprofits around the county, but to give them more visibility. Several restaurants will be donating a portion of their proceeds to Give Big Kern. We posted details on our website. Also, starting today through Sunday, people will be able to donate online to Give Big Kern. Donations will be accepted through the Big Online Day of Giving on May 7th. Since 2016, Give Big Kern has raised more than $556,000 for a local charity. In your Health Watch, are Americans changing their opinion when it comes to e-cigarettes? 2 new surveys say yes. They found people are more aware of the harms of e-cigarettes, but falsely believe that the devices pose the same risks as regular cigarettes. In fact, 10% of people thought e-cigarettes were even more dangerous than regular cigarettes. While public health experts have warned e-cigarettes are hooking teenagers on nicotine, some worry negative news about vaping might keep adult smokers who want to quit from switching to e-cigarettes.
It's blamed for 500,000 deaths in the U.S. every year. So today, the Center for Disease Control is bringing back a hard-hitting ad campaign aimed at getting people to quit smoking. As Erica Edwards reports, the tips from former smokers ads feature people whose smoking addiction led to disfiguring and fatal diseases, as well as the family of a Hollywood star who encouraged people to stop smoking so they can live long and prosper.
Here's Danny and Maddie with Dad.
Julie Nimoy's earliest memories of her father always involved a cigarette.
We'd be in the car. He'd be smoking. He'd walk around the house, the backyard. He'd have a cigarette in his hand. In bed, he'd smoke in bed. I mean, he smoked everywhere.
Dad to Julie.
Live long and prosper.
Spock to the rest of us. Leonard Nimoy smoked heavily for 30 years before quitting. He used Twitter in his final years to urge others to stop smoking, saying he was proud of the quitters. Though he'd quit decades earlier, Nimoy died from chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, COPD, in 2015.
He had chronic breathing difficulties.
Now his widow, Susan, is carrying on Nimoy's message through a new anti-tobacco ad from the CDC.
You always think you have more time than you do, and you really don't.
The CDC launched its first Tips from Former Smokers campaign in 2012. A jarring look at the physical effects of tobacco.
Things were stolen from my kids, I feel like.
The CDC credits the ad campaign with prompting at least 9 million Americans to try to quit smoking.
Even though it's really hard to quit, you can't give up. You have to keep trying. And if you fall backwards, you start again.
Logical. First steps to quitting success. Erica Edwards, NBC News.
Now, breaking news in the airline industry this morning. A technical outage is impacting major airlines, including Delta and Southwest, and is causing flight delays that could affect travel. The FAA says several airlines are dealing with computer issues. The agency says travelers should contact their airlines for flight information and to get updated. Right now, there aren't any delays out of Meadows Field, but airports in Chicago, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Miami, and Detroit are all reporting delays. It's a booming industry in the U.S. As NBC's Chris Clackham reports, pet lovers as well as pets seem very happy that business is bigger and better and has grown more sophisticated these days.
Now running a close second to man's best friend are the people who watch over that friend.
Here you go. Good boy.
Harley Luter is part of the booming pet sitting industry as an on-demand dog walker with the online service WAG.
Anyone sees that maybe they won't be able to get home for lunch, or if they're going to be late at work today, they just go on the app and request a walk, and then I just pick them up throughout the day.
WAG, like Rover and Fetch, have become the Uber of pet sitting services.
Our sitters are carefully vetted. We first test them on knowledge of dogs and safety. We do background checks.
Pet professionals have their own international association with 6,000 members and a nice chunk of the $72 billion pet care industry.
Of that $72 billion, nearly $6.5 billion was on the pet services category. So that's professional pet sitting, dog walking, and other non-veterinary pet services.
And while much of the industry is still focused on traditional services like grooming,
we do anywhere from 50 to 80 dogs a day. During the holidays, we have up to 100 a day.
Retailers are getting creative, offering places for pets and owners to unwind, like the Lucky Dog Bark and Brew.
People that bring their dog here love their dog more than they probably love their spouse.
And most services are for all pets, four-legged and feathered friends. Chris Clackham, NBC News.
Thanks for listening to the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's a 15-minute summary of everything you need to know about Kern County. There's a new episode every weekday.